Okay, good morning, everybody. We're going to get started here. It's 11 o'clock. So today's presentation is about the direct certification state level match project that we have asked you guys to be a part of. My name is Brittany Malley, and I'm a registered dietitian at the Nevada Department of Agriculture. Okay, so to get started, just the agenda for today, we'll do a little bit of background information for you, talk about the state level match and our goal for this, talk about adding Medicaid eligible students, also talking and explaining the current DC match process, and then explaining how the new DC match process is going to work. Give you guys a little timeline and how testing this new process is going to work with you guys, and then ask you guys for any feedback and questions you guys have right now. So to get started, just some basic terminology for those of you who aren't familiar with direct certification. I think most of you are, but just in case. Direct certification is a process conducted by the states and by the local education agencies, which is you guys, to certify eligible children for free meals without the need for household applications. So which programs are eligible for DC? Those are, SNAP, TANF, and FTPIR in Nevada. And this is different than filling out a paper application, which the families can also do and write down a valid case number, which would make them categorically eligible. Okay, but they still are doing that on a paper application. Direct certification, there's no applications involved. The DC rates do affect the ability to participate in the community eligibility provision as well. Okay, so a little bit of background. Currently, there's only 3 of the 22 LEAs in Nevada that use an electronic matching system for direct certification. And then there's only 1 state-sponsored charter school that's using direct certification. And right now, how this works, there's 3 sources for the direct certification data in Nevada. There's us at NDA, there's DWSS, which is a Division of Welfare and Supportive Services, and NDE, which is the Nevada Department of Education. Okay, so there's 3 of us that have all these sources for direct certification. And with this new ARC grant that we got this year, we've received some money to help pay Department of Education and give them money to help pay Infinite Campus to get the state level match in place. So just to give you guys an idea of where we're at with the rest of the nation, the goal rate for match rates for direct certification is to have a 91% match rate. Right now, as of 2014-15 school year, Nevada was at 84%. So we're not quite at that 91% for the national goal rate, but hopefully with this project we can get there. And that leads us into the goals of this project. So by implementing the state level direct certification matching system, ideally this will reduce administrative burden at the school and district levels. It'll improve student access to school meals and improve certification accuracy. Okay, well, help us get up to that 91% match rate and hopefully more. And as a part of this grant, we also applied to be a pilot for this direct certification Medicaid match project. So we are now eligible and approved to do DC Medicaid for this next school year, 17-18. And we're just going to integrate this into the statewide DC match project. So how this is going to work is that students that are receiving Medicaid will also be a direct certification match. And how this works is that there will be students that are certified for SNAP and TANF as well. This won't be at your level, but up at the state level, kids that are, SNAP and Medicaid, they'll qualify as SNAP over Medicaid. SNAP and TANF will always take precedence over the Medicaid eligible students. And I just want you guys to keep in mind that this is a pilot project that we've been approved for. So although we're doing it right now and going ahead as if this is something that will always be in place, if for some reason it stops and ends, just keep in mind that there's always that possibility that this Medicaid part won't always be part of the DC match. And if that does change, we'll let you guys know. Okay, so just to explain our current DC match process, if you guys aren't fully aware of how this works, I do have some of the acronyms up here on this page so that you guys can see what they all stand for. I think I mentioned all of them earlier, but just as a reminder. So currently, the SNAP and TANF data is collected at DWSS. Okay, and that's something that's already happening and that's not changing at all. They're just the agency that collects that data normally. So DWSS houses that data and then sends that file to us at NDA. And then we take that data file and separate it out by LEA, so separate it by districts, and then we send that list to you guys via Mustang. Okay, so then the LEAs, which is you guys, you grab that file from Mustang, and then you match that list with your current student list to find the DC matches. And then the LEAs then report their DC matches to the Department of Education via the Bighorn uploads. So you guys should all be familiar with that. It might be different depending on your district and your size, how you guys do that match at your site with that list from Mustang. Okay, so the current, so that was the current match process. So this is just going to explain the new match process that we want to use. So same as before, SNAP and TANF, and also now it's going to be Medicaid. Data is collected at Department of Welfare and Social Services. Okay, and they already collect Medicaid data also, so that's nothing new for them. Then DWSS is going to send this data to Department of Education now instead of sending it to us at NDA. Department of Education is going to take that data and match it with the statewide student population. And that's something that they already have and house within their division is that statewide student population. So they're going to do that. That's where that state level match is taking place. They're going to do that match. And then Department of Ed is going to push that free and reduced lunch status of the DC match students down to you guys, the LEAs at the district level in Infinite Campus. So that means that there's not going to be any manual matching at the district level because it's going to come down automatically in Infinite Campus as, you know, they're a free status and they were matched with direct certification. Okay, so that's the goal of this new state level match process. So as you can see, that takes Department of Agriculture out of the equation, and it also takes that part out where you guys have to go back into Bighorn and report your DC matches to the Department of Education. So ideally less work and less administrative burden for the districts and the schools. So to start this process, we're testing it with 5 LEAs before we roll it out to the whole state. And we have chosen Clark County School District as they're the largest, and they also use one of those electronic matching systems right now. Nye County School District, and they use Infinite Campus as their point of sale system in the cafeteria. Lyon County School District, and they use NutriKids as their point of sale system in the cafeteria. Lander County as their smaller district, also using Infinite Campus, and then Mater Academy of Nevada, which is a charter school in Las Vegas that's doing direct certification. Okay, so we wanted to try and get a sample of the different districts and places that are using different POS systems and doing direct certification different ways so we can work on all these kinks ahead of time. So as far as testing the process goes, and what you guys are going to be responsible for and help us out with is the first part is designate, which you guys have already done. You've designated one point of contact as a liaison for this project to report feedback and differences to us at NDA. The second part of this process is going to be comparing and validating. So what we're asking you guys to do is to take the state level match list that the Department of Education is going to produce and compare it to your list of direct certification students whom were certified through your current method. So we want to see where those differences are, because ideally we want the state level match to be just as accurate as what you guys are doing right now, if not more. So we want you guys to be able to tell what the differences are and report those back to us, which is this last part. So after you compare your list to that state level match list, we're asking that you report the differences in students listed back to me at NDA, and we'll relay that back to the Department of Education. Because this grant is through Department of Ag and we're administering it, so we're the go-between with the Department of Education. So if you guys have any feedback, please send it to me. The timeline for this, we are behind in this project. Ideally, we wanted to be testing with you guys in February. So we're a bit behind, but hopefully this will start a little bit quicker right now that we have all this other paperwork stuff out of the way that needed to get done. So the end of May and hopefully early June, Department of Education will have that state level match list ready for you guys, and we'll send that to you when they have that ready. And then in June and July, I want you to compare those lists and report back to us as soon as possible. You know, I realize school is going to be out soon and you guys are busy, but if you guys can, try and compare it as quick as possible and report the differences back, that'd be greatly appreciated. And then in July and August, we want to have those reports back to the Department of Education so they can fix any issues with the list and start testing that free and reduced lunch status in Infinite Campus. And then August and September, depending on if all the bugs are worked out, hopefully roll out this process statewide. Okay, so feedback throughout this process is going to be really important. You guys are our testing sites for this, and we've chosen you for specific reasons, and we'd like you guys to report any problems or IT issues to us, especially problems with Infinite Campus. If there's something going on that's preventing this process from happening, please let us know, and we will definitely relay that back to Department of Ed and Infinite Campus. Also, any feedback on the match rates and any matching errors that you find. Okay, anything that you guys think is an issue or will be an issue going forward, especially if we're going to roll this out to the rest of the state. We're kind of looking for as much information from you guys as possible to get everything worked out beforehand. And like I said earlier, if you guys have any questions, concerns throughout this process, please ask me. I'm the point of contact for this. And we're going to open it up right now for any questions you guys have right now to start with. So I'll wait a couple minutes and see if you guys have any questions that we can answer while we're all on this webinar right now. Okay, so we do have one question from Cindy in Lyon County. It says, what data are you using to match students? First name, last name, date of birth. So it is first name, last name, date of birth, addresses, parent names, guardian names. We have several we've added on to there's a requirement that we have to use to match. So it's all of those right now that Department of Ed is going to use. Yeah, and if there's certain things that you guys want to be matched with, please let us know and we can talk to Department of Ed and see if that's possible to add on there to make them the matches more specific. Okay, from Jody, will these slides be available soon? Yes. We'll upload this and get this uploaded after this presentation, okay? And I can send this presentation to you also, Jody. It's pretty short. But we will upload this to our YouTube channel just like we do the rest of them. Okay. Let's see, Cindy had another question too, but I didn't see it. It says, is there a way to include the state student IDs to be sure it's an accurate match?
The intent is that when the districts pull their information down from Infinite Campus, that it will have that student ID. It'll be that record already in Infinite Campus, so those should be one and the same.
Okay, so the intent is that when you guys pull that student's record down in Infinite Campus, that'll already have been done at the Department of Education, so that student ID should be one and the same in Infinite Campus from what they're using at Department of Ed, and that's pushed down to you guys at the district level. Okay. All right, any other questions? Okay. Hold on, we have, okay. Anne Batista has asked a question. Okay, we have one more question from Anne. It says, if directly certifying Medicaid goes away, will those students who qualified through this be removed from the program and need to fill out an application?
Potentially, once the pilot is over, there is the possibility that that could occur.
Yeah, potentially once the pilot is over, there's a possibility that that would have to occur.
But I think the pilot's been going on for the last 3 years, so what they're looking at, I think that's an unlikely scenario. The most likely scenario is that they'll continue on.
Okay, and the pilot has been going on for the last 3 years. We're just a new group of states that applied to start it this year. So in all likelihood, it will continue, but there always is a possibility that it'll stop. But it's not brand new, so they have been doing it for a little while so far. All right, any last questions from you guys? And you guys, if you think of something later, feel free to email me, call me, and we can talk about it later as well. We do, plan to keep you guys updated on the progress of this and when we want to start testing and get the list from Department of Education. We do really appreciate your guys' feedback on this and participating in this project. It's a big step for Nevada to get this state level match in place. So we do really appreciate you guys taking the time to do this and be a part of this project. Okay, well, I don't see any more questions. So we'll stop for today. Like I said, if you guys have any more questions after this, just email or give me a call. And thank you guys for participating today.